Welcome to Spot On Basics. I'm Rebecca Monet with Zorakle Profiles. Zorakle Profiles provides profiling tools for franchisors and for franchise brokers to help facilitate a right fit between a prospective franchisee and a franchise concept. Our tools are based on 7 statistically validated sciences, one of which I want to talk to you about today: culture. More specifically, the 4 different types of franchisor cultures. So why is culture important? Culture determines the environment, the strategies, and the best practices that inspire and engage both employees and franchisees to perform optimally. Culture is important to company morale and maintaining good relationships. A culture that is congruent and clearly communicated provides endless benefits to a franchise organization, including greater effectiveness and strong brand equity. A franchisee who shares a company's culture will prove more compatible and likely perform better. The Zorakle model, like many cultural models, is based on a vertical and horizontal matrix. In other words, we can tell what culture a franchisor is based on how flexible or how stable the systems and the processes are, or if the system is focused on unifying versus focusing on the competition and their rivals. So I wanted to talk in this session about the control culture. So here are some examples of companies you've probably done business with that will highlight what a control culture is. Starbucks is a great example of a control culture. Citigroup, FedEx, a control culture, a culture that's all about logistics and getting things there on time, getting things there effectively and efficiently. So these are great examples. I want you to think about these examples as we discuss more specifically what the control culture is. So what you're looking at here on the left is the SpotOn profile. This is a candidate who took the SpotOn assessment and showed up as someone who fits well within a control culture. Johnson & Johnson is an example also of a control culture. On the right is the SpotOn Eclipse report. This portion of the report goes to franchisors, and it lets the franchisor know if a candidate fits within the 6 different markers within the cultural model. So the gray, of course, is the franchisor, and the green is where the prospective franchisee is scoring. So you see in this case, the prospective franchisee scored exactly like the franchisor wants, and in this case scores as someone who would fit well in a control culture. So is a control culture one that is more flexible or one that is more stable? So the name itself kind of gives a clue, right? A control culture is all about logistics and stability and processes and procedures and doing things in such a way that it is ultimately going to save a few pennies, save a few minutes, and make us more money. And systems and processes will allow one to do just that. Is a control culture more about unity or about rivalry? So a control culture, you can kind of see this is kind of a moat around an individual, gives you a feeling of we are an army against the rivals out there, but we do so because we are unified. We're in a box. We are working together to make sure that our franchise concept is stable, it's consistent, it's dependable, it's predictable. So a control culture company is a highly structured and formal place to work. Rules and procedures govern behavior, and it's what holds the group together. We know exactly what our accountabilities are and what our responsibilities are and who reports to us. So there are a very clear understanding of what the procedures and what the rules are. So naturally, effective leaders in control cultures are those that are phenomenal at organizing, coordinating, and monitoring both people and processes. Now, they typically also have some great technology that will help with that, because we want to get the product from the supplier to our warehouse or directly out to that franchisee. And we want to do it faster than what our competitors can do it. And we want to do it by having some solid relationships in place with those suppliers, with those vendors, or we are going to control the intellectual property and the production of those products and services ourselves as franchisors. So the leaders know this is an exercise in logistics that allows our franchisees to be excellent competitors, is simply because we've been great at the logistics side of things as a franchisor. So stability, performance, and efficient and effective operations are always long-term goals of a franchisor that we would consider a control culture. Success means dependable delivery, smooth scheduling, and low cost. So think for a moment about Walmart, which is a control culture. They have in place a way that they have negotiated contracts with the actual producers of the products. They've negotiated contracts in large quantities to get better prices. Then they have their own trucks that can pick up those products and then deliver them directly to their locations. The technology behind a Walmart type or a FedEx type business is everything about efficiency, effectiveness, trimming off a few pennies here, trimming off a few minutes there, and obviously looking for profitability. So it's about smooth scheduling, low cost, dependable, consistent, predictable delivery of products and services. So maintaining a smooth running organization is most critical for a control culture franchisor. And management wants things to be predictable. They want the security of that kind of predictableness, and a franchisee that appreciates those kinds of logistics and that kind of organization and the smooth operation is a franchisee that's going to fit well in that control organization. Naturally, if you have a franchisee that finds systems and processes and things being this buttoned down to be cumbersome or burdensome to them, where they would prefer doing things a little bit more flexible, they're not going to be a great fit within a control culture franchise system. So control culture franchise system values standardization. This is how we do it, and there's reasons that we do it this way. They value control, and they have a well-defined structure for both authority and for decision making. So this keeps things simple. There aren't any questions how this organization is run or what is required of the franchisee versus what's required of the franchisor at the corporate level. So let's look at a mismatch. This again is the SpotOn Eclipse, a franchisor's report. The franchisor in this particular case is indeed a control culture franchisor. He appreciates stability. He's doing everything to create a culture of unifying and building those kinds of relationships that allows us to be an army against the world. So it's about order, and it's about control, and it's about stability. Our candidate, on the other hand, is a create culture. You can learn about the create culture candidate in another video. But a create culture individual prefers something much more flexible. He's an out-of-the-box thinker. He's a risk taker. He's innovative. He's going to come into this franchise system, and he's going to be miserable, and the franchisor is going to be discontent with him. This is a solid misfit for both parties. Nothing wrong with the franchise system and nothing wrong with the candidate. The two just don't belong together. We're always looking for right fit franchisees. The benefits of a right fit franchisees are many, both to the franchisee and to the franchisor. The Z to Zor fit allows for greater compatibility, better validation, greater retention of that franchisee, and of course they're going to be much happier and much more satisfied. Never mind, it's going to cost the franchisor less to train and support a right fit, a right match type of franchisee. The right fit franchisee is also going to ramp up faster. They're going to embrace the systems and the processes of a control culture franchise system, which is going to cause less litigation issues and increase performance in the long haul. So what you're looking at is the summary page of the SpotOn Eclipse. This is a candidate being compared using all of the sciences of Zorakle, and is a 79% fit as it relates to a fit within that system compared to the high performers within that franchise system. But notice that this candidate is only a 65% fit in terms of culture. So this is someone that's going to be uncomfortable within this franchise system. So franchise brokers, you can run an assessment on your prospective franchisee, go to your dashboard, and quickly see the kinds of franchises that are an excellent fit for your candidate from all of the sciences. But in today's conversation, we're talking about culture, and the culture that your prospective franchisee is going to be the best fit for him to be comfortable and obviously successful in the end. Now, if you want to learn more about culture, check out our other training videos on the topic. If you want to learn more about Zorakle or the SpotOn Eclipse, ZoracleProfiles.com will give you all kinds of information. Talk to you soon.